Evacuations are gearing up tonight as Hurricane Florence turns into a major menace to the mid-Atlantic and southern U.S. It powered up today to a Category 4 out of 5, with winds of 140 miles an hour. The storm is on track to make landfall by Friday, and South Carolina has now ordered 1 million people off the state's coast. People in North Carolina and elsewhere stocked up on groceries and supplies today. Governor Roy Cooper warned against ignoring the danger.
This storm is strong, and it's getting stronger. The best safety plan is preparation and common sense. North Carolina is taking Hurricane Florence seriously, and you should too. Get ready now.
The storm could be the strongest to hit North Carolina since 1954. The states of Virginia and Maryland have also declared emergencies. The White House pressed again today for a federal investigation into who wrote that anonymous essay in the New York Times. The writer, said to be a senior administration official, claimed that top Trump appointees are working to thwart his worst impulses. Press Secretary Sarah Sanders defended the president's demands for the Justice Department to get involved.
I'm not an attorney. It's the Department of Justice to make that determination, and we're asking them to look into it and make that determination. And they certainly are fully capable of doing that. But someone actively trying to undermine the duly elected president and the entire executive branch of government, that seems quite problematic to me and something that they should take a look at.
Meanwhile, President Trump called veteran journalist Bob Woodward a liar over allegations in his new book. It quotes Chief of Staff John Kelly and Defense Secretary James Mattis as disparaging the president. Both men denied making the comments. Woodward said Sunday they are not telling the truth. In northwest Syria, the United Nations reports more than 30,000 people have fled their homes as Russian and Syrian airstrikes intensify. The assault began last week in Idlib province. It is the opening phase of a campaign to recapture the country's last rebel stronghold. Taliban insurgents in northern Afghanistan kept up a wave of attacks today with multiple strikes at police and soldiers. They killed at least 52 people and seized weapons and military equipment. A provincial governor said nearly 40 Taliban fighters also died in the fighting. Sweden is facing political uncertainty after Sunday's elections. No party won a clear majority in parliament, but a far-right anti-immigration party captured nearly 18% support. The ruling center-left bloc lost ground, but its leader, the prime minister, dismissed the far-right group.
Of course, I am disappointed by the fact that the party with Nazi roots could gain so much ground. They have no budget that will work, no improvements that will make life easier for people. The only thing they could offer is a widening gap in society and growing hatred.
It could take weeks or months to form a new governing coalition. North Korea wound up its 70th anniversary celebrations today with thousands taking part. The festivities culminated in a nighttime rally in Pyongyang's Central Square. Crowds of students carried torches, spelling out slogans. This year's anniversary promoted economic growth and kept long-range missiles out of sight. In Washington, the White House called the change a sign of good faith. Human rights groups in Russia say more than 1,000 protesters were detained nationwide on Sunday. From Moscow to the Russian Far East, riot police rounded up protesters and beat some with batons. The demonstrations were aimed at unpopular pension changes. Back in this country, the Miss America pageant has a new representative after a year that saw its leaders forced out over sexist comments. Miss New York, Nia Franklin, won the title last night in Atlantic City, New Jersey. There was no swimsuit competition for the first time in the pageant's 98 years. And on Wall Street, the Dow Jones Industrial Average lost 59 points to close at 25,857. The Nasdaq rose more than 21 points, and the S&P 500 added 5. Still to come on the NewsHour, former Secretary of State John Kerry on foreign policy in the Trump presidency and his own new book. A wave of sexual misconduct allegations forces out the chairman of CBS. why the U.S. is taking aim at the International Criminal Court, and much more.